yesterday was quite interesting. Yesterday I arrived in Myanmar, so in Burma, and then so there is the city center. If you look on the map in Mandalay and zoom in, you see there's like a little square with a river around it. And I thought like, oh nice, it's probably like a cute city center without doing a lot of research. And then yesterday I wanted to go inside. I already know that in the very middle is the Grand Palace, or like the big palace of either Mandalay or actually Myanmar. So then I wanted to go to the entrance that was closest to my hostel, and then there was a sign saying foreigners not allowed, and I was like okay. And then they showed me it's on the other side is where the foreigners entrance is. So then I walked for ages, like it took a long time to walk around the square to the other side. On the way I went to a few temples because I'd researched a bit before. I took a few photos but didn't really take my camera with me. And then on the other side I wanted to go back into the circle, into the city center, and on the side where there's supposedly the foreign people entrance, it said construction going on, no entrance. So I'm not sure if you can even go inside at all at the moment or not. But yeah, also yesterday during the day I saw a total of 2 other white people. I mean outside my hostel, in my hostel, and at the airport there were a few others, but inside the city, and I was walking at the like main places. And now I rented myself a bicycle for 4,000 kirat, which is an equivalent of less than €2.50 for the whole day from my hostel. Now I biked to the waterfront, which you can see here. I now paid 5,000, which is again like €2.50, €3 maybe, like for a round trip, to get upstream for a bit over an hour. And you'll see why I want to go there. And the only other option besides taking the boat here would have been to bike down all the way, very far down that way. There is a bridge to go across and then go up again, but it would be a total of like an hour and a half car ride, so you can imagine with a motorbike how long it would take. That's why I decided for the bicycle today. Today the weather is not good at all. It's been raining basically all day long, and here in the temple areas you're not allowed to wear shoes, so it's gonna be a dirty day. And I think what's similar here to India as well is the cows, that they can roam around and that they're quite holy and that they respect them a lot. And here I'm at my first stop, and one of the places I was most excited to see, which is the White Temple. The name is like this. So in this small, let's call it town, there's 3 main parts. One is this temple, the White Temple. One is a very big bell, which used to be the biggest bell until a few years ago, like until 20 years ago maybe. And then another temple which is built inside a rock, which is back there. So what they built is the white path everywhere, because in Myanmar it's normally really hot, so you can walk and it's not so hot on your feet, but they're very slippery. So I almost just fell walking, like after I got off the stairs. Here's the Myanmar version of Full Moon Party. I'm off to the Mingun bell, which, as I said, was the oldest bell until a few years ago. So the boat leaves at 9 a.m. from Mandalay, and then you get here about a bit over an hour later, like an hour and 10 minutes maybe. So we arrived here at 10 past 10, and they told us we have to be back at the boat at 12:30. And after like, ooh, wow, that's not a lot of time at all, because it's like a bit over 2 hours, like 2.5 hours, less than 2.5. But there's the only like 3 main things, which is the bell, the white temple, and the rock temple. And the rock you cannot go up all the way. I don't know if it's at the moment or in general. And you like there's no real part that's inside. It's just like a very small room. So yeah, now I have about an hour left and not sure what to do with my time. So I came back to the white temple again, and let's see how I spent the rest of the time. I'm walking across the longest wooden bridge in the world with a bit of a rainy view still, and I can push my bike across so that I don't have to come back to the same side. So quick info about the lunch I just had, the dumplings. I was kind of hungry because I didn't have lunch yet, and it's quite late. It's like early afternoon, so I stopped there, and then I put out my Google Translate and wanted to translate like if they have anything vegetarian to eat. Then I typed in no meat. I didn't know if they understood or not. And then they just put 3 dumplings on a plate, put it in front of me, and I asked vegetarian. They were like yes, yes, yes. And it was quite good. All in all, it was incredibly cheap. I think like 40 cents, 45 cents for all the 3 dumplings. They were warm and filled with like coconut, cinnamon, sugar, more or less. But it was very tasty. Now I decided to bike up to Mandalay Hill, which is quite a long way to get to, and I got myself this nice little dress which they traditionally wear here. Now the electricity up here went out already right before I left the hostel. I left and then I went back inside to get a water, and right when I was there for the water, the electricity went out there, and now up here. And this is apparently the best sunset view in Mandalay. Of course not today because there is no sunset, but I can very well tell why, because the temple itself up here, you pay 1,000 to get in here, which is like 60-70 cents. And then down here you can see slightly the wall and the river. This is where the Grand Palace is, and you can see the rest of the palaces down on the way.